They're both related though. First, we woke up and walked down past the Basilica to have a nice quiet coffee and pastry for breakfast before we left to CC. So that was a really good moment. And then a similar moment was once we did all the crazy hustling and got here to Rome, we took a walk toward the Vatican and found a nice shady cafe and had another snack and drink. So my two highs today were moments with friends, getting to just sit and enjoy the scenery and relax and enjoy each other's company. I think my low was that it was a big travel day. So there was a bus and then a train and then a taxi, and all of those were very warm places to be. It was hot and sticky and stuffy. You had to have your mask on the whole time. So my low was probably just the amount of time we spent in those situations. And the uh-oh today is that one of our members of our group tested positive for COVID, so we had to figure out all the protocols for Italy and the CDC on what to do about that. Uh-oh.
Okay. Highs, lows, and O's are difficult today. Yesterday I said I felt like I was kind of on the edge of too many llamas, but there weren't too many yet, and I was sure after a good night's sleep I'd wake up and be fine. I wasn't. I woke up with just llamas freaking everywhere. There's too many llamas in Rome. But I think that the high for me today, this one thing I love about this is even when you're having too many llamas, you're forced to think about at least one moment in the day that you appreciate. And when we were sitting down for the afternoon snack in the cafe overlooking the Vatican that Steph mentioned, I ordered a beer, a cold beer, and he asked me if I wanted a small, medium, or large, which isn't a thing they ask you in the United States about beer to begin with. And as I was musing over what the correct answer to this was, Steph said, "Oh, she'll have a large." And I was like, sure, that sounds great. That was at least 2 pints. It was the size of my friggin' head. Yes, I finished it, but sitting there in the shade with friends, just laughing and talking and hanging out and sharing pictures of our dogs and cats was just a really nice time. The low was the rest of today. Basically, it was just a hard day. A lot of travel, weird group dynamic stuff because of the whole COVID thing, and last minute rearrangements and stuff like that. So it was just not my favorite. And I think we all have the same today. So,
My high for today was getting to enjoy the aperitivo Italian style, where we got Aperol Spritz and salted meats and cheeses right at the appropriate time during the siesta. So that was a lot of fun to do in Rome. Low was probably the train. It was hot on the train. The air conditioning wasn't working very well. And then we opened the windows, which caused a pressure differential, which busted all of our ears, and then the windows slammed and scared everybody. And then the lady on the train was yelling at us for putting our feet up as well. So train ride wasn't super fun. Is probably, if you've heard from the others, we were just casually walking back from dinner, and all of a sudden, all of our feet were sticking to the pavement and making icky, squishy, sticky sounds, and we all said, ew, all together. So,
Go.
That was my you're so rude. My for today is when Steph held up the camera just now to do my high, low, and video and said, "Oh, it's gorgeous. And you're in it." So rude. You're lucky I love you.
It is gorgeous.
My high today, in spite of me, my high today, I think, is the Colosseum and the Roman Forum and the whole park there. I love ruins. I love really old buildings and looking at all the columns and things. And there was even a baby seagull that let me take some pictures of it, which was super fun. I know Laura's not a fan of birds, but I am, and it was really fun to take pictures of the baby seagull. My low today is the Sistine Chapel is smaller, way smaller than I expected. I don't know what I expected from it, but it was little. And I know and also hurting my poor friend who's sad that the Sistine Chapel was my low. It was a Pisa moment for me. It wasn't what I expected it to be. And so it's cool to see that I stood there and I stood under it and I saw the artwork because I know that it's important art. No. And no, thank you. My second is just now on camera turning away the rose cellar. That's a twofer. So anyway, that was my day in a nutshell. Coliseum.
Okay, so my high today was the Sistine Chapel because I was an art history major and everything beautiful is contained in that one room and it brings me so much joy. And the first time I saw the Sistine Chapel, I cried through the whole thing because I was so moved. And today, because it was my second time, I could actually meditate on what I was seeing and it was so good. My low today was the Vatican museums because it just reminded me of the corruption that's possible in the church and how pretty much everything in there was gained by corrupt means, and so there was very little joy to be had there at all. It made me feel very icky. My there were plenty of them today, dear friends. But the biggest one was probably that I walked our group way too far past the Vatican entrance that we were supposed to use, and we had to turn around and come back, which wasn't such a big deal at the time, but now that we're like 12 miles into our day, it's a big deal.
Okay, so my high today was going to see the Colosseum and the Roman Forum. As somebody who's taken Latin for far too long in my life and learned about all those things for so long, it was really cool to get to see them in person. My low was before the Colosseum when we had some issues with our tickets and I volunteered to go stand in line and everyone was pushy and rude and ignorant and had no idea what they were doing, and it took way too long and was way too hot. So that was my low. And my is that as we walked past the Spanish Steps, I was asking why they were famous. And I said, "Are these the steps from Rocky?" And everyone looked at me and they said, "No, those are in Philadelphia." So I'm still not entirely sure why the Spanish Steps are famous, other than something about Audrey Hepburn. So,
Okay, first I want to show off my meal. Okay. My high today, I think, was our tour guide at the Vatican. I did not know a lot of the history or facts that he presented, and I thought he had a good spirit and attitude. And I also really enjoyed breakfast, where we were all together and we had coffee, and people felt some comforts of home for a more traditional American breakfast. And I thought that was a really nice moment. Low today was probably the heat and the sun, especially when we were sitting and waiting for the tickets at the Coliseum. There was very, very little shade, so everybody was hot and quite sweaty. So it would have been more comfortable in cooler weather, but that's okay. Today was that while we were sitting waiting for the tickets, I was actually counting the number of times Carissa had to fight off the vendors. But I became so hot and very kind of sleepy almost that I lost count. But I was saying in my head, I'm going to tell them that Carissa said 25 times. It was somewhere near 18 when I lost count. So that will tell you how many street vendors came up to us. But